Because right now in this environment, Jay Inslee is on the wrong side of every issue. He's on the wrong side of corporate bailouts. He's on the wrong side of Obamacare. Only someone with a problem would say, all of our other entitlements are going bankrupt. So I've got a great idea. Let's start a new one. He's for cap and trade, which would kill this economy. It would absolutely destroy this economy, and it would do what President Obama promised in his campaign to any of us who are listening, who said, under my energy program, electricity rates would necessarily skyrocket. Jay Inslee is on the wrong side of other things like cash for clunkers. He's on the wrong side of deficit spending. All of the things that people are angry about. And 75% of the people in the country right now are angry with the federal government. Jay Inslee is on the wrong side of every one of those issues. We will defeat Jay Inslee if we can raise enough resources to shout his atrocious voting record from the rooftops. He is vulnerable, and if I didn't think I could beat him, I wouldn't be in this race putting my career on hold. It's not worth my time otherwise. So Jay Inslee can be defeated.
Jay Inslee was re-elected last time with a 68% margin in a year that you had an extra 100,000 Obama voters come out. He was elected really by pretty similar margins in the last few elections. The reason he has been elected with such significant margins is we have not had a significant challenge to Jay Inslee in the last 4 election cycles. I did a poll about a month and a half, 2 months ago. Jay Inslee's re-elect has dropped from 68% to 37%. Only 3 voters out of 10 in this district can tell you one thing that Jay Inslee has done. The more people know about Jay Inslee and his votes, the less they like him. When it comes to how I specifically can beat Jay Inslee, my background stacks up against Jay Inslee. I am everything that Jay Inslee is not. I'm an expert in small business. I'm an expert in how businesses create jobs. I've actually cut federal spending. Jay Inslee is a big government bureaucrat. That's all he knows. It's the epitome of the guy that only has one tool. He has a hammer, so all of his problems look like nails. Every time Jay Inslee sees a problem, it's a big government solution. It's got to have more staff. It's got to have more spending. That is not the way we can fix our problems in the United States right now. And what we're seeing when we go out and talk to voters is that they are hugely responsive to this message of less government and more jobs. They are not huge fans of Jay Inslee. We're doing his town halls. He's done 4 town halls. I've had more of my supporters at his town halls than he has had of his. And when he's speaking at the town halls, people are not liking that message. We just did a parade last Saturday in Paulsbo in Kitsap County, Jay Inslee's home county. We're passing out these kinds of things. The response was fabulous from the people out there. Jay Inslee is ready to go. I'm the guy that can kick him out.
Yeah. Now we're getting to the meatier questions. I can see that. Number one, we have to reduce the national debt. A lot of people don't connect these dots, but the national debt and the money that we owe to places like China is a huge security problem. There's the, if James is a loan shark, and which you're not, and if I borrow money from you and don't act or pay back according to your wishes, you might bust my kneecaps. Well, China holds that kind of power over us. And other countries do too. So the main thing, or the first thing we can do, is reduce the size of government, start paying off the national debt, especially the amount that we owe to unfriendly entities like the Chinese, and we need to build our military in a smart way, in a streamlined way that protects our interests. So I'm for a strong military. We have to have that. But the biggest problem, as I see with China, is we are fueling them because they own us through the national debt.
I was born in Tokyo, grew up in Asia, lived there till I was 12 years old. I've done business all over Asia with various companies, and I can tell you that the only way to deal with a strong China is to have a strong United States. Matthew is correct that we need to restrain our spending. We need to stop borrowing so much money from China. We have mortgaged our future because we can't get enough 69-cent blue plastic bins at Walmart, that are coming out of China. So what we have to do, of course, is we have to get our own house under order, get our spending under control. The second thing we have to do is we have to reinvigorate our own economy, our own manufacturing sector. We have outsourced our manufacturing. We can't do that anymore. Right now, if you want to have extruded plastics made and a whole list of other things, you're going to be hard-pressed to find appropriate places to do that in the United States because that's all been shipped outside this country. So that's the second thing we have to do. And then the third thing we have to do is we have to have a business climate that is going to really foster new entrepreneurs, new ideas. That's how America really keeps its edge. If you think about where we've been in the last 20 years, on the cutting edge of various technical advances, we're in the front on computing, we're in the front on biotech. We need to be in the front on the next stuff coming out. That's about American exceptionalism, that's about American entrepreneurs, it's about our colleges and universities actually training people to be creative and to follow their dreams and passions. That's the way we're going to make America strong. Thank you. The only change I'd like to make to the Constitution is that the Congress would actually follow it.
Well, because Congress apparently is they're not the sharpest tools in the shed, and they don't believe that the Constitution says what it means and means what it says. I guess if you believe that, you're a far-right radical. Well, then count me in. But because they don't follow the Constitution, the three things that I would enhance would be to make even more clear. It's already been done by the 10th Amendment, but again, you've got to hit these people in the head to get their attention. I would clarify even more and give even more strength to Article 1, Section 8, the enumerated powers. Those things and no more. So I would give strength to that. I would also, well, the other two things I was just thinking about. The General Welfare Clause. The General Welfare Clause does not mean the government gets to spend things on whatever they think. Otherwise, they wouldn't have had the enumerated powers specifically identifying what the proper role and functions of government are in the first place. Why did they write the enumerated powers? Only to get the general welfare. And James Madison, who wrote the thing, clarified exactly what it means. But I would give additional strength to that. The other is the Commerce Clause. They think regulating is strangulating. Strangulating is not regulating. When the Founding Fathers were talking about regulate, it meant to make regular. To keep the states from doing like what California is doing against Arizona, boycotting another state, or having tariffs, one state to another state. That's what they meant by making regular, keep the flow. Not thousands and thousands and thousands of pages of unreadable, you can't understand these regulations. All they do is drive up the cost of services and send our companies overseas.